wanting to find out a bit more about who you are as a person, which I'm all for, kind of like self-discovery and self-work. Throughout that transition, I guess throughout that journey, obviously the changes aren't huge. It's kind of like little changes that happen over time, and then before you realize, you see the whole picture. Okay, maybe you're not actually really vibing anymore, you know? And I feel like anything that, in terms of your social battery, anything that feels like a strain, that seems to take away more than it adds value, is definitely something that you might want to consider taking off of the social battery. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can see, I'm back with a new one, back with a good one. And as you can see by today's title, I'm doing a quick video about how understanding how my social battery helped a lot with my mental health. But before we get into all of that, why don't you go ahead and subscribe, like, and leave me a comment, maybe leave some hearts, leave some hearts in the chat, and let's vibe and thrive together. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So understanding my social battery and how that helped me mentally. I think for me, I have to put into context what type of person I am. So I feel like growing up, I was definitely an extrovert, definitely wanted to be out all the time. Even growing up in Ghana, I always liked to be out on the streets, not in that kind of way, but but that's just how it was, kids would play out in the streets, and you're all kind of friends, and you all kind of know each other on the blocks, sort of thing. So I had a friend who lived directly opposite my house, and I would spend a lot of time at her house. She sometimes would come to my house, but it was mostly her house because her house was on a farm, and so we had all that space to just explore and just go crazy and just enjoy childhood. You're supposed to be out exploring. But I feel like that has kind of changed the older I've got. I feel like the older I've gotten, I've become a lot more subdued, a lot more introverted, and that's due to just life, really, experiences that you go through, just wanting to find out a bit more about who you are as a person, which I'm all for, kind of self-discovery and self-work. I really, really enjoy sitting down and spending time with myself, just thinking and unpicking things that I know have been kind of either hidden or just tucked away a little bit. So I enjoy getting to know myself, and I think that has kind of been the natural progression. But throughout that transition, I guess throughout that journey, obviously the changes aren't huge. It's kind of little changes that happen over time, and then before you realize, you see the whole picture. I think I started to definitely realize that the more I became in tune with myself, in the sense that I wanted to get to know myself more, the more I kind of also started to kind of step away from people. And I'll tell you the reason why. I feel like by becoming more aligned with myself, I started to actually pay attention to the things that I liked, the things that I didn't like, my values, and how I wanted to be as a person, how I want to be as a person. Just knowing that now I'm thinking in the sense of whoever I come into contact with, I want to be able to have add some value to your life. And if, our paths are kind of briefing in terms of how it crosses, so maybe we don't end up being in each other's lives for a long time, I still want to be able to know that I've impacted you in a positive way. So understanding all of that and how I want to move as a person, I think when you start to see that doesn't kind of reflect in certain things or certain people and certain conversations that you have with people, you then start to actually understand why you would put yourself in social situations or do things socially with people that, okay, maybe you're not actually really vibing anymore, And I feel like anything that, in terms of your social battery, anything that feels like a strain, that seems to take away more than it adds value, is definitely something that you might want to consider taking off of the social battery, to kind of help balance the other side where, you know, there are things that you do that actually make you feel good. So it's about positive and negative, isn't it? So trying to balance out the scale a little bit more, so you know exactly the things that kind of like help boost your energy or help boost you up socially, where it doesn't take a huge hit on your mental health, are more advisable to follow, as opposed to things that take a lot more energy out of you than they add good or value to. So I started to understand a little bit of that, and naturally I think I started to fall back a little bit more as well. I also think that, it's okay to say no to something. It's okay to not have to put yourself in situations that, you actually don't really get too much of. It might not be draining you too much, but equally it doesn't add too much value. So you actually start to get to the point where you pick and choose things that you know are good for your mental health, by, I guess, smartly understanding your social batteries and knowing what to take off and what to put on. So learning how to say no helps as well. And then also learning that, in social contexts and things like that, or social situations, being able to say how I feel and being able to share my opinion and be okay and bold and stand in that. If it's something that's, I want to bring to the table, it's obviously taking some thought or some form of, for me anyway, internal thinking, and kind of like mapping out almost like a risk assessment in a way, so being able to do that, I feel like, has also helped me in terms of my social battery and managing myself in social situations. If I want to say something, and everyone's feelings and everyone's thoughts are important, so I equally need to accept that my feelings and my thoughts in social situations are helpful. Other things that I do are just kind of like obviously writing. So understanding that writing gives me a sense of therapy. It gives me a sense of calm, excitement, that fire in your belly kind of feeling. There's nothing like it. So that is a huge one on my social battery. And it might not be social because I tend to write, by myself, but in the context of me sharing my poetry, that's kind of like a social thing. And that's actually a really huge thing, actually, being able to put yourself out there. But that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, these are some of the things that I think, from just like sitting and reflecting in terms of, knowing what to use and knowing when to use it, and being okay and being confident in who I am, and saying no to what doesn't give me any joy or doesn't bring me any value. But not also just that, but also in terms of, okay, it might not be taking too much away from me, but when you look at the scale in terms of what it takes out of me and what it actually gives, there's not that much difference. So it's like, do you want to really be putting yourself in situations where you might not be comfortable, so these are all things that I'm thinking about. I hope this video has helped someone. If it has, leave me a heart in the comment, and yeah, connect with me on my socials as well. I like talking to people, and I like understanding people's experiences and just having deep conversations. I cannot do surface level, y'all. I can't do it. I struggle in surface level conversations. I'm like, there's only so many times I can talk about how great the weather is. Like, I want to actually have a conversation. Let's open curtains, and let's go past the layers and explore what's there. But I get it, it's not for everyone, and some people find it uncomfortable. But when you're able to get to the point where it does feel comfortable, it's one of the best feelings that you'll ever have, because you can really kind of get to go deep and uncover things that you may not have realized was there. So with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell the mom, the dad, the uncle, the brother, the sister, the cousin. Anyway, tell them that I just dropped a new one and it's a good one, and I hope you're vibing and thriving wherever you are. And without further ado, and I'm gonna zip it, what I'm about to say, your girl is out. Peace. Mwah.